So today we're going to be sharing with you a very powerful but very effective moving average crossover strategy that involves using a few other indicators as added confluence to your trading. Now the cool part about this strategy is that this strategy can be used for intraday trading, scalping the markets, and even for binary options. But for today's example, we're going to focus specifically on the Forex side. And then of course later on this week, we'll also give you another video focusing specifically on binary option trading. So if that sounds good to you guys, stay tuned, and of course make sure that you subscribe to our channel and of course turn on notifications so that way you don't miss out on our weekly updates on free strategies that you can implement to your trading. So ladies and gentlemen, if that sounds good to you, let's roll the footage and let's get to it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Really happy to do this with you guys because this is a new strategy that we are going to be introducing here on this channel for the first time. So thank you for tuning in to our new Project Wealth channel. And we do encourage you to watch this video through the end so that we don't miss out on any important details. But if you need help in anything that we discuss throughout this tutorial, make sure that you reach out, guys. Drop a comment, let us know, and you can also email us directly anytime, and I'll be more than happy to help. But the reason why I also want you guys to stay through to the end is not just so that we don't miss out on any important details, but I'm also going to share with you some pretty cool information that you could use so that way you can improve your trading and be a more successful trader and master not just this strategy, but any other strategy that you'll come across in your trading venture. All right, now we're going to guide you through all the steps that you need. We're going to go over the indicators that we'll be using as added confluence, and of course the steps that you need to follow so that we can use this strategy more effectively. And as a friendly reminder, guys, make sure with any new strategy, practice and backtest thoroughly on a demo account. All right, guys, now let's actually start this with a proper Forex trading affirmation, because when it comes to trading, guys, your mentality is important. And if you're not in the right mind space, it's going to affect your trading in a negative manner. So for today's affirmation, I am always happy to take any profits, but willing to accept any losses as a learning lesson. All right, that is very powerful, guys, because obviously with Forex trading, we want to be able to make money online, but you are going to run into losses, and it is how you handle those losing trades that will determine your level and your caliber as a trader, and the lesson that you should take from those events that will help you become a more profitable trader. All right, so let's go to the strategy here, guys. Obviously you can see we have some indicators here. Let me just pull up a few others. We have a MACD, we have a stochastics, and of course we have some moving averages. So let's start from the beginning with the moving averages. So we have here a 200 exponential moving average, which is our yellow line. We have a 50 blue moving average, which is the blue line obviously over here, and then we have a 4 moving average, which is the white line running through the candlesticks as well. Okay, now speaking about the candlesticks, this is actually very important before we forget. We're actually not using regular Japanese candlesticks. We're actually using Heikin Ashi. Now typically, guys, I do not trade with Heikin Ashi candlesticks. I prefer the Japanese candlesticks for the fact that with Japanese candlesticks you can have a better price action reading. However, we are following a strategy and we're following a set of rules. So for this example, we are going to be using Heikin Ashi as it is called by the strategy. All right, now moving on, guys, we're also going to be adding MACD, which are set to default settings, so we don't have to do anything there, but we are also adding a stochastics, which we do have to customize the settings. So let's go to settings here. Okay, and what you want to pay attention to, guys, is these numbers. Our settings for stochastics are set to 5, 1, and 1. Style really doesn't matter, guys, what color it is, just as long as your upper and lower bands are set to 80 and 20 and that they're eligible enough for you to see on your chart. Okay, guys, any questions so far? Again, guys, please feel free to let me know. Now that we have our chart set up, how do we apply what we have here into the strategy and into placing trades? So the first thing that we want to do is identify the trend that we are in. This is going to be very important, guys, because of course the trend that you're in is going to determine what types of trades you're going to be looking for. Now this also comes in with proper market analysis, all right, and also the fact that we have a 200 EMA, which is the yellow line. So if market is below, we're in a seller's market. So in this case, we're only looking for sell trades. All right, now what I want to do is just take a quick moment here and clarify a couple of things, because I know some of you are going to be wondering various questions such as, can this be used on different different assets? Can this be used on different time frames? Yes and yes to both, guys. All right, we're looking at Euro USD on a 15-minute time frame. After we show you this sell market example, we're going to show you a buyer's market example on a different time frame as well. All right, but also make sure that you back test on different assets and different time frames that you are more accustomed to, so that way you can see how this strategy works out. Okay, so now that we understand the trend, what we want to do is first look at the moving averages. With our 4 and 50 moving average, what we want to see is our white 4 moving average crossing below our blue 50 moving average, which we have an example right over here. All right, we also have a crossover here, but this is where what our 4 moving average is crossing above. So would we want to be taking any trades here? Absolutely not, because this is an indication for a buy trade, but we're not looking for buy trades. We're only looking for sell trades. Okay, so this is our main area of focus, but we don't just jump into the trade right away. We want to make sure that we have added confluence or added confirmations before we take the trade. So now that we have crossover confirmation, you want to look at the MACD. You want to see that the MACD lines are moving down, and that we also have red volume indicating selling power in the market, which of course we have here as well. Okay, so that's our second confirmation, and our third and final confirmation comes from the stochastics, where at the point of crossover we can see that the stochastics is at the lower end of the histogram, further indicating and confirming selling power. All right, so we'll be entering a trade here at the opening of the following candle after our crossover confirmation. Stop loss just beyond this recent pullback for about 13 pips. Now, typically, guys, with this strategy, I like to target 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio. So I would be targeting a 30 pip take profit, and as you can see, this was a winning trade for 30 pips. All right, very simple, guys, very effective. And let's show you another example here, because remember, no strategy is perfect. Even when you follow the rules in terms of a strategy completely, all right, you are going to run into some losing trades, but it is important that you understand what happens. Okay, because here we have a prime example. Okay, let's just move over here. Here we have a prime example where we have confirmation of our moving average where it's crossing below our 50. We have confirmation of our MACD where we have selling volume, and we also have oversold levels of our stochastics. So just by these rules alone, let's just minimize this a little bit. All right, just by these rules alone, we would say, okay, we would be entering for a trade, right? Stop loss would be above this pullback for about 17 pips, and we would be targeting about 30 pips, right? A little bit over that. But look what happened, guys. As you can see, this was a losing trade. Well, why did this happen? Well, because this level of the Euro USD, as you can see, it's consolidated and has respected this level, is because this is actually a key level from a higher time frame. So when we tell you guys to not just rely on strategies and indicators alone to place your trades, this is what we're talking about. It is important that you understand and take the time to learn how to trade properly, so that way you know when to enter a trade based off of a strategy's rules, but also when not to. All right, so if we had identified this key level already, which we should have done before we started trading, if this was our entry point so close to this key level, we would be able to determine, you know what, this is probably a bad idea to enter this trade, and this would have saved us from an unnecessary loss. All right, guys, so don't worry if you're not sure how this works or how to apply this to your strategy. This is something that we're going to go over towards the end of this video, so bear with me, guys. All right, this is the stuff that makes or breaks a successful trader. But let's move to a different asset, and this time for a buyer's market example. All right, guys, so now we're looking at a completely different asset, and again, this time now we're looking at a buy trade example. Market is above our 200 EMA, so we're following the same rules. The only difference, of course, is the fact that everything is in reverse, for the fact that we're only looking for buy trade opportunities. Okay, so here we have a crossover area over here. Are we going to be taking this trade? No, we're not, right? Because this is crossing below our 50. So this is a sell trade example, which we're going to ignore, because in this case, we're only looking for buy trades. Now, honestly, this would have most likely have been a winning trade, but these are things that you don't want to take a risk on, guys. All right, these are things that you don't want to gamble on, right? It's always better to go with the trend rather than against it. All right, so now we have another cross up here going above our 50. So this is a buyer's market example. So we have confirmation number 1, crossover above, right? Confirmation number 2 from momentum and volume of our MACD, and confirmation number 3 at the point of crossover, we can see that stochastics are at the overbought level, right, where the selling power is high. So now that we have all 3 confirmations, we'd be entered for the trade at the opening of this candle. Stop loss beyond this recent pullback for about 23 pips, so 1 to 2 risk to reward, almost 50 pips, so about 50 pips right over there. So this trade would have taken a little bit, but it would have smashed take profit. You would have been in profit for 50 pips. All right, guys. So that's one win in trade. If you had missed that trade, shortly after, there was another trade opportunity where our 4 moving average crossed below, but then crossed back up. And as you can see, this also would have been a win in trade as long as we followed the criteria of this strategy. But again, remember the golden rule. Do not just rely on indicators and strategies to place trades. All right, you have to use this in addition as added confluence to what we already know in the markets, using that as prime example that I mentioned before of this key level of why this was a losing trade. Okay, now if you don't know how to do this, guys, we have an amazing trading academy that provides the best and easiest education even for beginner traders, so that way you can come in, learn how to trade properly, and master any strategy that you come across. But in addition to that, guys, we also provide live trading sessions so you can learn from the best educators, make money by copying trades from those sessions. And speaking about copying trades, we also provide trade alerts that are sent to your phone, guys, so that you can copy and paste profits to your broker. That is just a fraction of the features that we provide, guys. So I'll leave a link with more information down below in the video description. And again, guys, if you found this video helpful, smash that like button as we appreciate a lot of your support. And of course, if you have any questions or need help, please feel free to reach out anytime. I hope you all have a blessed day on purpose, and we'll see you next time.